CSS interview questions and answers. Beginner means advanced. Introduction. This is a structured set of commonly asked CSS interview questions with clear answers. It covers CSS fundamentals, selectors and specificity, box model, positioning and layouts, Flexbox and Grid, animations and transitions, responsive design, advanced performance concepts. This is widely used for front-end developer interviews. 1 to 20. CSS basics. 1. What is CSS? CSS, cascading style sheets, is used to style HTML elements. 2. Why use CSS? Sure styling, sure layouts, sure responsiveness, sure animations. 3. Types of CSS. Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS. 4. What is inline CSS? P. Style, color red. Hello, P. 5. What is internal CSS? CSS inside style tag. What is external CSS? CSS in separate .css file. 7. What is selector? Targets HTML elements. 8. Types of selectors. Element, class ID, attribute, pseudoclass. 9. Class versus ID selector. Class means reusable. ID means unique. 10. What is universal selector? Star, margin 0. 11 to 30. Box model and layout. 11. What is CSS box model? Structure around every element. Components. Content, padding, border, margin. 12. What is margin? Space outside border. 13. What is padding? Space inside border. 14. Margin versus padding. Margin means outer spacing. Padding means inner spacing. 15. What is border? Surrounds element. 16. What is width and height? Element dimensions. 17. What is display property? Controls layout behavior. 18. Display block. Takes full width. 19. Display inline. Takes content width only. 20. Display inline block. Inline plus block behavior. 21. What is position property? Controls element positioning. 22. Types of positioning. Static, relative, absolute, fixed, sticky. 23. What is relative positioning? Positioned relative to itself. 24. What is absolute positioning? Positioned relative to nearest positioned parent. 25. What is fixed positioning? Fixed relative to viewport. 26. What is sticky positioning? Sticks during scrolling. 27. What is z-index? Controls stacking order. 28. What is overflow? Controls content overflow. 29. What is float? Old layout positioning technique. 30. What is clearfix? Fixes float collapsing. 31 to 50. Flexbox and Grid. 31. What is Flexbox? One-dimensional layout system. 32. Display flex example.container. Display flex. 33. Main axis versus cross axis. Main means flex direction. Cross means perpendicular direction. 34. What is justify content? Aligns items on main axis. 35. What is align items? Aligns items on cross axis. 36. What is flex wrap? Allows wrapping. 37. What is flex grow? Controls growth ratio. 38. What is flex shrink? Controls shrinking. 39. What is CSS grid? Two-dimensional layout system. 40. Grid versus Flexbox. Grid means 2D layouts. Flexbox means 1D layouts. 41. What is grid template columns? Defines column structure. 42. What is grid template rows? Defines row structure. 43. What is gap property? Space between items. 44. What is autofit? Responsive grid sizing. 45. What is autofill? Fills available space. 46. What is media query? Responsive CSS rule. 47. Example of media query. Out media, max width 768px, body, font size 14px. 48. What is responsive design? Adapts UI to device size. 49. Mobile first design. Design for mobile first. 50. What is viewport? Visible browser area. 51 to 70. Advanced CSS concepts. 51. What is specificity? Rule priority system. 52. Specificity order. Inline ID class element. 53. What is important? Override specificity rules. 54. Why avoid important? Makes CSS hard to maintain. 55. What is inheritance in CSS? Child elements inherit styles. 56. What is pseudoclass? Special element state. Examples: hover, focus, nth child. 57. What is pseudo-element? Styles part of element. Examples: 58. What is transition? Smooth property change. 59. What is animation? Multi-step visual effects. 60. What is keyframes? At keyframe slide from left 0 to left 100px. 61. What is transform? Rotates, scales, translates elements. 62. What is translate? Moves element. 63. What is scale? Resizes element. 64. What is rotate? Rotates element. 65. What is opacity? Transparency level. 66. What is box shadow? Shadow effect. 67. What is linear gradient? Gradient background. 68. What is CSS variable? Root, main color blue. 69. What is calcism? Dynamic CSS calculations. 70. What is rem versus m? Rem means root relative, m means parent relative. 71 to 100. Performance and advanced topics. 71. What is CSS reset? Removes browser default styles. 72. What is normalize.css? Consistent browser styling. 73. What causes reflow? Layout recalculation. 74. What causes repaint? Visual redraw. 75. Reflow versus repaint. Reflow means expensive layout recalculation. Repaint means visual update only. 76. What is critical CSS? CSS needed for initial render. 77. What is lazy loading? Load resources when needed. 78. What is CSS preprocessor? Extended CSS language. Examples: Sass less 79. What is Sass? Popular CSS preprocessor. 80. What are mixins? Reusable style blocks. 81. What is nesting in Sass? Nested CSS rules. 82. What is BEM methodology? CSS naming convention. 83. What is utility-first CSS? Small, reusable utility classes. 84. What is Tailwind CSS? Utility-first CSS framework. 85. What is Bootstrap? Component-based CSS framework. 86. What is dark mode? Alternate UI theme. 87. What is prefers color scheme? Detects dark, light preference. Sure. Here it is. 88. What is CSS architecture? Organizing CSS structure. 89. What is CSS in JS? Writing CSS inside JavaScript. 90. What is styled components? CSS in JS library. 91. What is accessibility in CSS? Styling usable interfaces. 92. Why avoid low contrast? Accessibility issue. 93. What is focus state? Keyboard navigation highlight. 94. What is aspect ratio? Maintains element proportions. 95. What is object fit? Controls image fitting. 96. What is clamp? Responsive value range. 97. What is container query? Styles based on parent size. 98. What is CSS performance optimization? Reduce reflows, minimize selectors, use efficient layouts. 99. Common CSS interview mistake. Confusing Flexbox and Grid usage. 100. How to write maintainable CSS. Semantic class names, reusable styles, avoid deep nesting, mobile-first approach. Final summary. CSS interviews focus on layouts and positioning, Flexbox and Grid, responsiveness, specificity, animations, and performance. Key idea. Strong CSS developers understand both layout systems and browser rendering behavior.